When I was a new player, one of the biggest factors that kept me off the field and kept me from having fun was this anxiety over what costume was I going to wear and how expensive was it going to be. But I have found a $50 costume off the rack that can get you started today. Let's get to it. All right, so my goal here for this video is to provide you with a full costume that you can go and start LARPing today for under $50. So a few things that I am going for, the few criteria that I am using. One is that $50 criteria. The goal is to keep right around that $50 mark. Two, the goal is to have it be off the shelf. When I was a new player, I used to see all of these tutorials on here's how you can sew, here's an easy tunic. And as someone who can't sew or couldn't sew at the time, who had no crafting ability coming into this hobby, sewing was very, very intimidating. So everything that I'm going to be showing you today can be bought off the shelf. Most of it can be ordered through Amazon. If you do order it, please consider using the links in the description below. That really helps out the channel. Third thing that I'm trying to do here is I want everything to be upgradable. So often when you're a new player, you jump into it and you don't really know what you're doing. You don't know what you're going to enjoy, what you're going to like. And so the goal of this is to be something that is neutral, that can play across multiple different genres of LARPing and can play across multiple different characters. The last thing you want to do as a new player is say, I'm going to be an orc and go join orc camp and buy all of this gear for orcs. And then you get there and you hate the orcs, right? And you want to do the rangers or you want to do something else, whatever it is in your game. So most of the stuff that we have on today that we're going to be showing you today is going to be able to cross over into different characters and different games very easily. And then the last criteria is I wanted to make sure that this was legal in all of the games that I readily play. So the outfit that I'm going to present to you today is legal in Amtgard, Dagorhir, Belegarth, and believe it or not, even the SCA through the 10-foot rule. Now, things I'm showing you obviously aren't going to be perfect period materials or cuts, but it will be good enough to get you started even in the SCA. In my understanding, a lot of it will work in Dystopia Rising and Nero and some of those other LARPs as well, but those are the ones I'm less familiar with. So with all of that out of the way, let me show you what we got. So starting with your underlayer, this is something that I recommend most players do, especially in the wintertime when it's cold. Grab an underlayer that is going to be white, black, or brown. This can be a long sleeve t-shirt. This could be thermals if you have thermals in the winter, anything like that. Just something to protect your skin from the tunic that you're going to have over it. Because this tunic that I'm going to show you is cotton. And so anything that we can do to keep your sweat from getting onto the cotton is going to help you out in the long run. And it also looks good. When you can layer up different things, it makes the whole outfit look better. So first thing you need to go out of your closet, any long sleeve t-shirt that you have that doesn't have buttons, doesn't have collars, doesn't have sleeves, anything like that. If you don't have this one, that's all right. Now, for the tunic, this tunic I got off Amazon for right around the $25 mark. And man, I am actually surprisingly impressed with this. I pulled it out of the bag and I was expecting it to just be a cheap garbage, maybe get you through one or two event tunic. And I was thoroughly impressed. It's got some trim on it, which I like, and the trim is actually soft. Sometimes you get tunics with trim on it, and it just feels bad against your skin. It's like prickly almost. All of the trim on this tunic is very soft, very well put together. I really like the cuts. I like the V in the front. It's got the flaps on the side. Overall, this tunic for $25 is going to get you through a few events. Now, it isn't a $100 linen tunic. So don't expect this one to last you years and years and years. And it is also made of cotton. So just know it's going to be a little hot. So make sure you're drinking a lot of water. Cotton tends to hold your moisture a little bit more than something like, say, linen does. But for your first tunic, cotton is great. That's what I use for my first probably 3 or 4 years into the hobby. So don't let that scare you away. This tunic, I am surprised at how good it looks. This is one that I would actually wear. I honestly thought when I was done with this video, I was going to donate this to a new player and I'd never see it again, you know, but I actually would wear this one. I like this tunic. It is fairly comfortable. A piece of advice, order a size up. I generally wear a large. I am a six foot tall guy, about 200 pounds. I ordered a large. It's a little tight in my armpits. It's usable, but I would recommend going one size up. Now, moving on to the star of this video, in my opinion, the pants. These are hands down the best pants that I've ever worn in 10 years of LARPing. If you gave me a $300 budget, I'm still buying these pants. They're stretchy. They're loose. They're comfortable. They're elastic, tight elastic that's not going to come loose. And the thing I love about these pants is they are genre neutral. You can wear them to any game you want and they're going to look good. They look close enough to the roost pants of the Viking roost pants. So later on, if you want to get leg wraps, you can use them on this and it's going to look great. If you want to do like a ninja assassin-y character, that's going to look great. If you want to do anything, you're going to throw a tunic over it, you're going to throw a belt on it, these pants look great. And from a practical perspective, they're amazing because they're super billowy in the crotch area. Almost every pair of pants that I've ever purchased off the rack, I end up tearing the crotch out very, very quickly. And because of the way these are made, that's just not going to happen. The only downside to these pants that I can find after wearing them for a few weeks out fighting is that there aren't any pockets. But that's not the end of the world. These are the most comfortable and most cost-effective pants that I've ever worn in LARP, and I'm definitely going to keep wearing these, even with some of my, quote, higher-end costumes. Now, the next thing you need is a belt. This can be a variety of different things that you have around the house. This can be what I have on here. Just go to Goodwill and buy a $2, early 2000s to mid 2000s Aeropostale belt. You know, those American Eagle belts that came with every pair of pants with the double D rings. Just get a brown or a black one of those, throw it on, and you're good to go. You can also go and just get a piece of rope or some extra fabric that you have around the house and tie it off like a sash. Really anything works here. For me, this is the weakest part of the costume, and definitely the thing when I could save up some more money, what I would drop my next step would be to get a ring belt or get a woven belt of some sort. And we'll show you some options for that here in a little bit. Now, moving on down to your feet, grab black socks and ideally any pair of black tennis shoes that you have currently. Try not to get anything with a ton of logos on it, something as muted as you can. And there you have it. There is your starter LARP costume for right around that $50 mark. That's going to work for Amtgard, Dagorhir, Belegarth, SCA. This is a fantastic starter kit to get you going to start having fun today. You can purchase all this stuff other than the belt off of Amazon. And the cool part about this, I want to take just a moment as we finish up the video here to show you what you can do with this as you start to save up money. Using this costume as the base costume, as you save up money, as you learn to make stuff, you can start adding stuff to this costume to make it truly your own. You could add things like jewelry or like a hood. You could upgrade your belt. You can get boots. You can get those leg wrappings like I was talking about earlier. You can add furs. You can add pouches to your belt. Anything you can think of, this can be used as a base layer that is going to look good with most characters in most genres for right around $50. So if that is a worry of yours, what am I going to wear? Fear not. St. Godric has you covered. Here is a costume that you can start playing today for right around that $50 mark. Don't let that stop you from going out and playing the hobby that so many of us love. I hope this really helped you today. And if it did, please consider hitting that like and subscribe button. It really helps out the channel. I'm St. Godric. We'll see you next time.